Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk boxing. We're going to talk about Floyd Mayweather, a living legend. Now, Max Kellerman says that Floyd Mayweather said that you can give other people the title of TBE in the ring. He's talking about being TBE of the entire game. And I'm saying Max Kellerman is wrong. Floyd is TBE of the ring, the best ever boxer of all time. That's right. And I'm going to tell you how. I'm going to explain to you guys in this video why Floyd Mayweather Jr. is a living legend and why he is the best ever. If you look at this poster here, it says, "A true champion will fight through anything." Let me say that again. A true champion will fight through anything. That's his anthem. That's what Floyd Mayweather is. What makes Floyd Mayweather different from every other boxer, from every other era, is the strength of his mental. He is incredibly mentally strong. We already know he's tough. We already know he's skilled. We already know he has smarts in the ring. But Floyd Mayweather has a will to win unlike any other boxer in history. Because Floyd has fought through everything you could think about. He's fought with bad hands. How does a guy with bad hands stop a fighter? Mental. When we watched a Conor McGregor fight Floyd Mayweather had to overcome a number of challenges that Conor McGregor presented to him. First one was reach. Conor McGregor has a 4-inch reach advantage on Floyd Mayweather. Then he had decent power, respectable power. On top of that, Conor McGregor was switch hitting. He was changing stances and switching. And he was doing it quite efficiently. He would triple up the jab with one hand and then switch stances and jab with the other hand. Sometimes throwing a ripping uppercut behind it. A la Zab Judah, a la Floyd Mayweather. He would hook to the body where he could. But mostly, he'd keep that pesky probing jab in front of Floyd's face. The only way Floyd could get past that jab was to change levels, bob and weave, slip and slide, and dip. All of which Floyd did, with his guard up and to his face. Now, Conor McGregor didn't expect Floyd to walk him down. But I've heard many people in the gym say Floyd is not the kind of stick and move boxer you think he is. He can walk you down and he can walk through fire. He uses his defense, yes, but he's also tough. He can take some punches. And the mental toughness and then the skill of Floyd Mayweather is what separates him. Floyd can fight at any range. He will adapt to you and then he will beat you. But a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people, for some reason, they think Floyd can be knocked out. This dude has never even touched the canvas in his entire career. Guys like Marvin Hagler touched the canvas. He was dropped by punch. Floyd has never been dropped by a punch. Floyd has touched the canvas formally because he hurt his hand on a guy's head. Informally, Zab Judah made him touch the canvas by putting his hand down. He's never been dropped. And all the all-time greats have been dropped. Sweet Pernell Whitaker, the great Sugar Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Oscar De La Hoya. All the all-time greats have been dropped. Not Floyd Mayweather. It's a testimony to his mentality and how strong, mentally tough he is. The other thing about Floyd is this. He will optimize every opportunity, every single inch he could find for advantage over his opponent. Whether it's mentally, whether it's physically, he's looking for that advantage. The other thing about Floyd Mayweather that Andre Berto talked about was how observant he is. He observes everything. He takes in everything. Everything that's going on inside that square circle. It's like his home. That's why he can keep such composure that Conor McGregor's talking about. He has an amazing composure. In the midst of firepower and punches flying at him, he's very, very composed. Very, very relaxed. He can catch punches. He can absorb punches much easier because he's so relaxed in the ring. And he can sense when an opponent is weakening. And once you start to weaken in that square circle, that's when Floyd starts to take advantage of you. He's like them wild animals in the wild hunting their prey, just looking for a sign of weakness to exploit. That's what happened to Marcus Maidana against Floyd Mayweather. Both in the first fight and in the second. And that's what made Marcus Maidana have to resort to MMA. Because he knew his ass was going to get knocked down and then knocked out by Floyd if he just did boxing. And Floyd knew that. See, people talk about Floyd don't have no punching power. But he does have punching power. He's not a one-hitter quitter, but he does have punching power. He does hurt his hands in fights, but he does have punching power. I watched him hit Robert the Ghost Guerrero, who's a very tough guy. I started battering that dude about the ring before he hurt his hand. Of course, Robert Guerrero left the fight with a lumpy eye. So did Conor McGregor. So did Victor Ortiz. And we're talking about guys bigger than him, okay? Conor McGregor came in probably 25 pounds heavier than this dude. Victor Ortiz, 15 pounds heavier. Robert Guerrero came in about 8 to 9 pounds heavier than Floyd. Came in at 159. I think Floyd came in at, 140, 147, 146. My point being this. Floyd Mayweather Jr., his mentality is what allows him to be the winner he is. See, all the other champions, they relied on their power, on their quickness, or they relied on their strategy, yes, but also on their ability to throw combinations. They were relying on the killer instincts and stuff like that. Even though they may have been smart fighters, that's what they relied on. Floyd don't rely on none of those things. He relies on his mentality. He takes nothing for granted in the ring and in his preparation for fights and off in between fights. Floyd was always in shape. 24/7, all year round. And on top of that, this dude never drank. He never smoked. He never treated his body bad. Again, discipline, a mentality. All those other champions, including Sugar Ray Robinson, who used to fight, and keep himself busy, all of them had some kind of vice. All of them didn't respect their bodies and have the discipline Floyd Mayweather had to keep themselves in peak condition all the time. Now, yeah, you could say that some of the throwback fighters had stay busy fights and they fought very regularly, and that helped them to keep in shape. But we all know, as they started to come to the end point of their careers, in the latter stages, when they were in their 40s, that's when they lost fights. In fact, Sugar Ray Robinson lost a fight while he was in his prime to a guy called Jake LaMotta, the Raging Bull, which a movie is made off of him. Floyd didn't lose to the Raging Bull in Marcus Maidana and other guys like that. He's fought a number of Raging Bulls. He beat them all, and all of them outweighed him more than Sugar Ray Robinson. Jake LaMotta outweighed Sugar Ray Robinson. My point being this. My point is this. That Floyd Mayweather Jr. is a dude who never took a single opponent for granted. And the older he got, he knew it was harder to get into shape. He would work even harder to maintain his body so it wouldn't break down. That's the mentality. Because he believed a true champion would fight through anything. People say Floyd can't fight. Well, what did he do to Conor McGregor? Conor McGregor's a fighter. What did Floyd do? Did he dance around the ring? No. He walked to the boy. He was fighting. I heard Stephen A. Smith say that Floyd Mayweather Jr., he don't do no toe-to-toe battles. Well, what the heck was that fight against Conor McGregor? Because he was going toe-to-toe. And Conor McGregor was backing off. Okay? I saw him go toe-to-toe with Miguel Cotto. I saw him go toe-to-toe with Shane Mosley. Deadly Shane Mosley. Bad boy Miguel Cotto. People say Floyd Mayweather Jr. runs. I don't see him run. If you're saying Floyd Mayweather Jr. runs, well, then you're saying Terrence Crawford runs. Because Terrence Crawford uses the same kind of footwork Floyd Mayweather Jr. uses. It's called pivoting and changing that angle continuously against your opponent. The only difference is Terrence Crawford can switch hit, and in order to make his life easier, he usually fight. If it's a southpaw, he fight as a southpaw. Floyd Mayweather Jr. not only has the ability to come forward and fight a fighter, but he can also fight a fighter on the back foot. He can fight a fighter without even moving his feet and just moving his upper body. He can fight a fighter in the pocket. He can fight him on the outside. He can fight him right up in the inside on a phone booth. So mid-range, inside, deep inside that is, and then outside. And these are not skill sets that Floyd Mayweather Jr. was just blessed with. He had to practice. He trained himself. He sharpened those skills. And he did it. He never took nothing for granted. All the skill and ability he had and God gifted, he never took it for granted. He sharpened those skills that he learned from his father and from other people, watching other boxers. And he kept it in his tool bag. I don't even know if in his career he ever pulled out his A game. He probably never pulled out an A game against nobody for people to see. Now, I say all of this to say it's the mentality of Floyd Mayweather. It's his mentality that separates him from every single fighter in history. All the other fighters you guys talk about and rant and rave about, they knocked out people. What happens when you can't knock out somebody? What you going to do then? What did Mike Tyson do when he couldn't knock out Evander Holyfield? He lost. When he couldn't knock out Lennox Lewis, he lost. When he couldn't knock out what's the guy? Buster Douglas. He lost. He's a one-trick pony. Sorry to say it, but he's a one-trick pony. He could give it, but he couldn't take it. He couldn't take it. He's a one-trick pony. Sugar Ray Leonard doped himself into fighting Roberto Duran's game. Doped himself into fighting Roberto Duran's game. You think Floyd Mayweather would have fallen for that? You think he'd have fallen for what Roberto Duran was doing? Hell no. He'd have given back. Because Floyd always wanted an advantage. He'd have trained harder than Roberto Duran. He'd be training. He wouldn't let Duran get in his head. You crazy? The mental game of Floyd Mayweather is on another level. Floyd Mayweather said he was better than Sugar Ray Robinson. He really is. He's better than Sugar Ray Robinson. Y'all like to talk about 200 fights and how Sugar Ray Robinson used to dance around the ring and knock out people. Well, hear what? I'm not saying Sugar Ray Robinson wasn't good, but he lost to Jake LaMotta. He lost to Jake LaMotta. How you going to be better than Floyd and you lose to Jake LaMotta? You think Floyd would have let Jake LaMotta beat him? You really think so? He lost to Jake LaMotta in his prime. Jake LaMotta knocked him out the ring. A true champion will fight through anything. Excuses, excuses, excuses. He lost to Jake LaMotta. The highlight of Muhammad Ali's career was against Joe Frazier. He lost to Joe Frazier. He lost to Joe Frazier. You think Floyd would have let Joe Frazier beat him? Excuses, excuses, excuses. And y'all be saying, oh, you shouldn't speak about the champions. He lost to Joe Frazier. He lost to Joe Frazier. I want it to sink in your skull. The fight that was supposed to determine everything, he lost to Joe Frazier. When it counted, he did not come through as a true champion who will fight through anything. He lost to Joe Frazier. Oh, he was coming out of retirement and, he hadn't fight and he was fighting for a cause. He lost to Joe Frazier. A true champion will fight through anything. How you could put Muhammad Ali as a better boxer than Floyd Mayweather? How could you do that? Because he was knocking out? Because he was flashy? Because he talked about it? He lost to Joe Frazier. A true champion will fight through anything. Anything. And then you losers come up with a statement. You losers come up with a statement, oh, if Floyd Mayweather didn't pick his opponents. The best of his era he fought. The best of his era he fought and beat them all. The best of his era he fought. And he fought them all in a timely manner. The only one he didn't fight in a timely manner was Manny Pacquiao. It wasn't his fault that fight wasn't made. A true champion will fight through anything. If Muhammad Ali had his hands broken, if his hands were broken, he had to punch through a fight. And this happened 3 times with Floyd in 3 fights. You think he would have won that fight? He'd have lose. Because he depended on his boxing skill from range. He didn't know how to adapt and switch hit if he had problems. Y'all take what Floyd Mayweather Jr. did in his career for granted, man. You take it for granted. You know how much people charge at Floyd Mayweather like a bull? Sugar Ray Robinson. He lost to Carmen Basilio. Yeah, he lost to Carmen Basilio. A guy that's smaller than him. A smaller guy than him. All the punching power and all of that. He lost to Carmen Basilio. But y'all want to talk about Sugar Ray Robinson. Really? Y'all serious? No disrespect to Sugar Ray Robinson. Hell of a fighter. But mentally, he ain't on Floyd level. He's not on Floyd's level. Because a true champion will fight through anything. Sugar Ray Robinson never had his hands damaged or was fighting in a fight with weakness. Sugar Ray Robinson stopped fighting against a guy much bigger than him at light heavyweight because he was heat exhausted. A true champion will fight through anything. No excuses. Floyd damaged his hand. He had a rotator cuff injury against Jose Luis Castillo. He still won the fight. He still won the fight. I've seen so many champions with rotator cuff injuries fighting in fights. Andre Berto and so many. And they always lose fights. Go check it out. They lose the fight. They fight hard, but they lose. Not Floyd Mayweather. The mentality of the man. All he knew how to do was win. And whatever it takes to win, he would win. And that's a reflection of what you see with his career. He didn't pick and choose his opponents. No, what y'all guys was seeing was perfection. I heard this disgusting guy called Larry Merchant say there's no room for perfection in boxing. You know, sometimes you want to slap certain people. Larry Merchant did so much harm to the sport of boxing, it's not funny. There's no room for perfection in boxing. Larry Merchant was the first person, because he couldn't find any fault with Floyd Mayweather, to talk about how he couldn't knock out this guy. And he spent the whole entire fight where Floyd was doing all the kind of beautiful things and beautiful boxing against a guy much bigger than him, talking down this dude. He spent the entire time. Larry Merchant has been a plague on boxing. A plague. I listened to these people talk down Andre Ward. I could hear Max Kellerman's interest and his delight in Floyd Mayweather as Floyd Mayweather does his thing in the ring. But Larry Merchant was just like this acidic kind of salty, disgusting, pruny old white man. Hurt boxing. That sucker hurt boxing so bad. But letting me get this off my chest, because I've heard so many jackasses out here bray about Floyd Mayweather Jr. is boring. And I hear Floyd apologizing, talking about, I didn't give the fans the fight they won with Mayweather Pacquiao. It was, for them, it was a boring fight. It wasn't a boring fight. It was high stakes chess.